My Indianapolis Colts roll into Denver, and they are taking on the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are favored by 3.5, as they should be. My Colts are trash. The over-under is 43. I really like the under in that game because both teams can't score points. So both teams' defenses aren't terrible. Just their offenses can't move the ball, apparently. Mm-hmm. Broncos did get a win last week against the Raiders. They also lost Javonte Williams with a ACL tear for the season. That really sucks. I was going to say to pick up Boone this week in my waiver wire pickups, but the Broncos decided to sign Latavius Murray yesterday.
Oh.
So Latavius Murray is now a Bronco. I can't pick the Colts. I like the Broncos at home. The Broncos are going to win at home. No faith. I like the Broncos to cover the 3.5. Like I said, fire Frank, start the tank. Let's go. Let's go. We need a quarterback. We need wide receivers. Ballard needs to go too. The Colts have not been good. They shouldn't have lost to the Titans. They didn't let them score in the second half, but they let them score 24 in the first half. You can't play from behind all year, which is pretty much what we've been doing, except the Chiefs game this year. Chiefs game, they played a great game. The whole game was a great game plan by the Colts. That's why we beat them. The rest of the games, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. So there's that. But under 43, Broncos cover, Broncos win. I'm not even going to give a score because we suck.
So the Colts, I mean, yeah, your Colts, man, I don't even know how to say it without being.
Here's the thing. We'll probably win the fucking game because, like I said, the Colts win games they're supposed to lose, and they lose games they're supposed to win. I don't fucking get it.
Apparently, you just can't win division games. You're 0-3 2-1 this year.
Yeah, stop saying we're 0-3 against division.
You're basically 0-3. You're 0-3.
We're 0-2-1 against the division, okay?
It's against the Texans. They're 0-3. And like you said, like the Colts are supposed to lose games that they're supposed to win, and they win games they're supposed to lose. This game's a little different, though. I don't think either team can really win this game, honestly.
Are we going to tie?
0-0.
That's what I said earlier. I was like 0-0. No, I don't think so. But I have to agree with the under with that. Both teams can't score, and both teams' defenses are pretty good. I don't know if that ball's going to move past the 50 at all this game.
Past the 50.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, I mean, and you said earlier, I mean, Jonathan Taylor's not even practicing right now, so that's
I don't think he's playing this week.
So that's a little scary. I mean, you still have a good backup.
Naheem Hines. He's fine.
He's a good running back. But I have to go with the Broncos. I'm going to say that Indy covers, though. It's going to be a close game. It'll probably be a field goal game or less, but I'm going to go with the Broncos.
I'm going to have faith in your team, Casey. I'm going to take the Colts just because I have less faith in Denver. Denver just hasn't shown me anything this year, and the expectations that they had with Russell Wilson coming in and all the Broncos country, let's ride bullshit, like
country.
It's falling apart, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. I like the Colts. I like the Colts in it. Naheem Hines is perfectly fine to step in and be the RB1 this week and take over for Jonathan Taylor. Matt Ryan needs to figure out how to throw the fucking ball again for some. Like, I don't understand. You have the most expensive offensive line in the league.
I know. That's what pisses me off about this.
I don't
like,
get
oh
it.
My God.
It's a mess. It's a lot of figuring out that needs to be done because you guys have the talent. It's just not being utilized, and it's weird, and it doesn't make any sense. It might be the coaching. You might be on the right track with needing to fire everybody. But I'm going to say fuck it, and I'm going to take the Colts anyway because you guys picked the Broncos. Give me the Colts.
Dolphins going into New York to take on the New York Jets.
The non-Geno Smith New York Jets.
The non-Geno Smith New York Jets, according to Daniel. Daniel was 2 years in the past, Christ. Dear God. Miami is favored by 3 in this game. The over-under is 44, which I don't hate either one of them. The Dolphins will be starting Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback because, as we said earlier, Tua is hurt. Tua should have not played the last game, as Daniel said last week. Daniel's not even here. There he is. All right.
Sorry, I was blowing my nose.
But they're going to be dueling Zach Milfin Wilson, who has given the Jets an improved offense boost. The Jets look good this year. They don't look bad at all. But the Jets' issues will be the secondary trying to handle Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. And the running game against a great Miami offensive line. I like the Dolphins in this game. I know the game's in New York, but really home field advantage doesn't really mean much in the NFL, I don't think. I'd take the Dolphins to cover, and I'll give the over in the points. Over 44, I think both teams will put up some points. But Dolphins win, Dolphins cover, over 44.
Tua being hurt is definitely a big blow for the Dolphins. But Teddy Bridgewater has proven himself to be a pretty solid quarterback, and he definitely has the weapons to compete this year, even if Tua is out for, let's say, the whole season. I mean, the Dolphins could still be scary with Teddy Bridgewater. I mean, he took the Broncos he did pretty well with the Broncos last year. He definitely torched the Cowboys last year
in Dallas.
Dallas, yeah. But the Jets, they're not a cakewalk this year. They're definitely better. They have come behind and they beat a good Steelers team. A good Steelers defense. That offense is terrible. Sorry, Tony. The Dolphins will score a lot of points. I don't think the Jets can keep up, even with Zach Wilson. So I'm going to take Miami covering the 3, and I'm going to say over because I think the Dolphins can score at least 35 points this week.
There shouldn't be any question for anybody in this game, unless you're a Jets fan maybe. But the Dolphins have 10 times more talent than the Jets do. I'm surprised this game is this close with the spread right now.
It's been right now. It's a backup quarterback still. That's why.
Yeah, but Teddy Bridgewater is not really a backup quarterback, if you're asking me. Teddy Bridgewater is a good-ass quarterback. He's mobile. He can throw. Teddy Two Gloves is perfectly fine with me. So I'm going to take the Dolphins. I think I'm going blowout of the week here for this game because I don't know. The Dolphins have way too many weapons on offense. I think they're going to score a lot on this Jets team. Definitely going to take the over. Definitely taking the Dolphins to cover 3 points. I think I'm going to say like 41-17. 41-17 Dolphins.
That is a blowout. Tony's Pittsburgh Steelers are heading into Buffalo. This is my blowout of the week. Buffalo is favored by 14 in this game.
Yeah, that's a big.
I think that's the biggest spread we've had all year. I like the Bills to cover that 14. The Steelers do not look really good. I don't think Kenny Pickett's ready for what he's about to face down in Buffalo, but they're turning to Kenny Pickett for his first NFL start over the former Bills backup, Mitchell Trubisky. Look for Pickett to be competitive with his moxie and fearless passing against a banged-up secondary, but the Bills will grind away at the Steelers and they'll lean on the running attack first, and then Josh Allen will find the passing game later. The over-under in this game is 47. I like the Bills to just destroy the Steelers. I think it's going to be the blowout of the week. I like the Bills. Minus 14, I would take it. I'd probably take the under 47, though. I don't think that 47 points will be scored because I think the Steelers will get stopped a lot. I don't think they're going to score a lot of points.
I have to agree with Casey. Bills are going to pretty much probably destroy the Steelers. It shouldn't be too bad. 14 points is a lot. And the Steelers do have a good defense. But Josh Allen and that Bills offense against the Steelers offense with a new rookie quarterback against that Bills defense. He threw 3 picks last week. He might throw for 3 picks again this week. Growing pains, man. Tony's team's going to have to get some growing pains. But Buffalo should easily win this game. I don't think they'll cover 14, honestly. I'll still say the Steelers cover, and I'll say the under for that too.
I'm taking 2 blowouts of the week, actually, now that we get to this game. I didn't even realize.
No, you can only have 1.
Nah, well, we're taking 2. If I had to take one, it would be this one. I didn't even realize that this was happening. You going into a game as 14-point favors in the NFL, it's just insane.
That's disrespectful to the other team.
It kind of is. Last week, the Packers went in as 10-point spread to the Patriots.
New England, yeah.
That game went into overtime. This is not Green Bay and New England, though. Bills are arguably, in most of our opinions, definitely all of ours on the stream, the best team in the AFC. Compete with the Chiefs, maybe. But the Steelers, on the other hand, might be one of the worst teams in the AFC. You have no TJ Watt still with his torn pectoral. I don't know how much longer he'll be out. Probably a good couple more weeks for sure, but he's definitely not playing in this game. So that already devastates their defense and their abilities to get to the quarterback in Josh Allen. It's already difficult enough to get to him because he's so mobile, and I don't get it because he's huge. Casey, did you pick a score for this game? No, right?
No, I just think they're going to lose by a lot.
I think I might take the over on this because I think Buffalo might score over 40 points. I think I'm going to go with like 45-14. That big of a blowout. I think that Buffalo's going to just stomp on the Steelers, and Mitchell Trubisky might end up back in the game, honestly, if it gets that out of hand. But yeah, it's going to be very rough for the Steelers this week, I feel like, and they're going to have everything go right for them to even compete in this game. So Buffalo, huge.
Next game here goes to the AFC South. The Texans are visiting the Jaguars. The Jaguars are 7-point favorites over the Texans. The over-under is 44.5. Houston got a little better play from Davis Mills at home against an injury-riddled Chargers defense, but they got gashed against Austin Eckler. He went off against the Texans last week. Jaguars front seven will wreak havoc on the Texans. The Texans, I think, are... You know what? This might be a week of blowouts because I don't see the Texans keeping up with the Jaguars in this game. The Jaguars are good, man. Like, It's weird to say, but they're a good team. They're a good team. They kept up with the Eagles for a while, and then the Eagles finally passed them and blew away. But I like the Jags in this game. I might even take the 7 on the Jags in this game. The over-under is 44.5. I'd probably take the under there if I had to bet it, but I don't think I'm going to. But Jags -7. Jags win the game. Jags cover.
Jacksonville plus or -7. I'll definitely cover for Jacksonville. 44.5 points, though. Jacksonville can definitely score points. I don't think the Texans can. Maybe not even 17 points. God, I'll pick the under for that just because I just don't believe in the Texans being able to pull points to help Jacksonville cover that. But Jaguars should easily win this. They've been winning games easily this year. They beat your Colts pretty convincingly. Oh yeah, they beat the Chargers convincingly too. And they put up a good fight against the Eagles last week. Jacksonville, I'm taking them.
There's part of me that wants to say that Houston can keep up in this game, but there's a bigger part of me that knows that they can't. And the convincing point right there was Steven and saying, and like reminding me that they did demolish the Colts and they fucking took it to the Chargers in LA. Like, that doesn't just happen back-to-back weeks and then keep up with the Eagles. The Jags should have won that game. There were a lot of miscues that cost them that game against Philly. But you have the Philly home crowd and, everything matters in the NFL. Every little detail. I think it's going to kind of get out of hand for Houston again. It's in Jacksonville. You have the home crowd behind you. Casey, like you said, the front seven is going to take it to Houston. Davis Mills is going to get fucking shit on. And their running game doesn't really exist either, so... Like, what are you going to do? So I'm going to take Jacksonville to cover that 7. I'm going to take the under with you guys because I don't think it'll be a ton of scoring for Houston. But that's kind of a tricky one because Houston could have a good, not a good amount of points, but a decent, like Jacksonville could go for like 31 and then, Houston only has to go for like 13 at that point. So
I don't think they can.
I'll go for the under with you guys on that too and agree that Jacksonville might blow out Houston this week.
Chargers going into Cleveland this weekend as 3-point favorites. The over-under is 47.5 in this game. I think this could be a really good game. The Chargers have a bit of a trap game here, given their defense has become a lot more vulnerable against the run. But the number is already pretty small in their favor. I think Nick Chubb can go off in this game. But the Browns defense can't stop much without Myles Garrett setting up tone up front. The Chargers can still frustrate Jacoby Brissett without Joey Bosa. I think Los Angeles will make sure to put Cleveland in a negative game script to erase any chance of a road stumble. I think the Chargers win, not in a rout, but I think it's a close game. I think they win somewhere around like 24-20 or something like that, and they cover the 3, which if it's 24-20, that puts them at 44 points. I put them under the 47.5. So give me the Chargers on the road in Cleveland. They cover, take the under.
You just don't know with the Browns. The Chargers, at least, you know who the Chargers are. So with that goes through, yes. But Justin Herbert still has that rib issue. But I think he'll still play well. I just don't believe in the Browns, honestly. The Chargers should win this game. It's going to be a close game, like Casey said. 3 points. I think the Chargers can win by a field goal. I'm also going to say it was going to be 27-24. I'll take the under. That's less than
47.5.
No, that's over. Sorry.
That puts you at 51.
Can't do math. Can't do math today. I'll take the over.
I don't know about the Chargers. I'm not convinced. They lost 38-10 in LA to the Jaguars.
Granted, what if the Jaguars are good? What if they're good, though?
The Jaguars are a good team. They're not that good, though. They're good, but they're middle of the pack still. I'm going to take Cleveland.
Okay.
Fuck it. I'm going to take Cleveland at home. I think Nick Chubb goes off, and I think Jacoby Brissett finds Amari Cooper. I miss him with all my heart. That was the dumbest fucking thing Dallas has ever done. I'm going to take the Browns.
I hope he finds
it. Obviously covers the 3. I'll go for the over with Steven. Over 47.5. Taking the Browns at home. I'm scared to do it, but I'm doing it anyway. Fuck it. Go Browns.
Next game here, I think could be the game of the week. Sunday Night Football. The Ravens and the Bengals. The Bengals are going into Baltimore. The Ravens are favored by 3. The over-under in this game is 48.5. The Ravens' pass defense is not living up to expectations. They should have a really good pass defense, and it's not true. They still need to create pressure with their blitzing, and their cornerbacks are very, very disappointing. I think the Bengals passing game is back to starting really hot, and they have 3 really good receivers that they can use in Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase. I think they can torch the Ravens secondary in this game. But Lamar Jackson will also have a game too, as he's a dual threat quarterback. It's going to be good. It's going to be cool to watch Lamar Jackson against Joe Burrow in these games. I know we're going to see it a lot over the years, but both these quarterbacks can move. Lamar Jackson can go over 100 yards rushing and 100 yards passing again in this game if he can play pretty well. I like the upset in Baltimore. I like the Bengals in this game. I think the Bengals are, like you said, Daniel, they're figuring stuff out. I like the Bengals plus 3. because I think it's going to be a close game. And I like the over in the points. It's 48.5. I think both teams are going to put up some points. This could be like a grudge match between the offenses, going back and forth and scoring, and whoever has the ball last might win the game. So I like the Bengals. Take them +3, over 48.5. Bengals win the game.
Yeah, this game is my one game that I can't decide a winner, honestly. I do think it's going to be a shootout. It's going to be very similar to that Seahawks-Lions game that was last week. I don't know if they'll score that many points, because I do think these two teams do have decent defenses that can stop them at some point. The Ravens are at home. They're going to be very mad about how they lost last week. But the Bengals are doing really well now. They found the rhythm. They're protecting Joe Burrow. It's important. Screw it. I'm going to go for the upset too. Bengals.
Fuck yeah. Let's go.
Screw it. I think the Bengals will find their stride. The Bengals will take control of this division, this game. I'll take the over on points, though, definitely. It should be a good shootout kind of game, but Bengals should win.
Well, guys, I'm right there with you. Like I've been saying it since Cincinnati lost to Dallas. Fun fact for you guys, the Cincinnati offensive line only has one returning player from last year. The way I've been going at it is that they're finding their chemistry more and more every week, which is one of the most important things that a football team can have, is chemistry in your offensive line. Knowing when to pull, knowing when to pick up certain blocks off somebody, knowing when to double team players, knowing when to create holes where they need to be created, wink, smile, and just being able to work as a unit, the most important unit on the team. So I am going to take Cincinnati in this game in the upset. We could all be very wrong about this, though. This game could go either way. We're all going to take Cincinnati, and we might all pay for it. Tony will probably take the Ravens in this, honestly, I feel like. Definitely taking the over with you guys as well. I think this is going to be a Call of Duty team deathmatch, first to 50 points wins. I feel like that's just how the game is going to go. It's just going to be nothing but scoring. This will probably be the game of the week, Casey, because it's going to be nothing but scoring. It's going to be really entertaining. It's going to be a deathmatch. I'm excited for this game.
Next game here, we have the Detroit Lions going into Foxborough to take on the New England Patriots. The New England Patriots took the Packers to overtime this week. Aaron Rodgers, Matt Zappi, or is it Matt Zappi? I know his last name's Zappi, but I don't know what his first name is. That. Forgive me, Zappi. I'm just going to call you Zappi. All right, how about that? Never going to watch this, but whatever. So the Patriots are favored by 3 in this game. The over-under is 46.5. The Patriots offense will keep things simple against this Lions defense that cannot stop anything. The Lions defense is fucking trash, dude. Like, they are terrible. They have Aiden Hutchinson, and that's about it. I don't know what else to say. Their offense can score points, but I don't know if they're going to score enough points against this Patriots defense, who has been pretty good the first couple weeks. I like the Patriots in this game, and I like them to cover the 3. I think the Patriots are going to win at home. They're going to bounce back. They win by more than 3. I'm going to say the score is like 27-20, something like that. I think that's what this game's destined for. The Patriots could score more points, though, because the Lions defense is that bad. They're terrible. They can't stop anything. And I'll take the over in the points, 46.5, over. 27-20, yeah, that puts me at 47 points.
Yeah, so I saw a stat today. The Lions have the #1 scoring offense in the league right now. They also have the 32nd best scoring defense this year.
Defense wins games.
And they said the last team to finish first in scoring offense and last in scoring defense was the 2000 Rams. As you said, the Lions can't stop anybody. The Patriots are very simple. They took Green Bay to overtime, which none of us expected, especially you, Casey. You thought
that was
Green Bay was just going to
That was my blowout of the week, and I was completely wrong.
And they did that with a third-string quarterback, which is pretty impressive on its own against Green Bay. Green Bay is not terrible. I'm going to go with the Lions because we've picked every single team the same so far. So I'm going to pick the Lions to win. And I'm definitely taking the over. Definitely taking the over because both teams will be able to score points. Maybe each Lions game is just going to be a shootout, but I think the Lions will score more points. That's my take.
I like it, Steven. I like you shaking it up there.
Mixing it up.
This might surprise you, Steven. I'm going to choose the Patriots.
That's fine. That's fine.
Just so everyone's clear on it, Bailey Zappi.
Bailey Zappi. There you go. I kept calling him Matt for some reason. He's
starting New England Patriots quarterback for this week against Detroit Lions. He had a quarterback rating of 107.4 last week against Green Bay. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
For getting thrown in there as a third-string quarterback against the Green Bay Packers.
In Lambeau.
Who, honestly, in Lambeau. I have no faith in Green Bay right now. Their record says otherwise, and they kind of find ways to win games still, but I don't know. Like, Green Bay is just not convincing me of anything right now. They're such a boring team to watch right now. It's kind of annoying.
like the Patriots.
It kind of frustrates me to watch the Packers. But anyway, we're not talking about them. We're talking about the Patriots and the Lions. So we got Patriots at home, yes?
Correct.
Yeah, in Foxborough. I'm going to go with the Patriots here. Casey said it perfectly with the damn Lions defense trying to live true to the Lions name and bring the team back down to the dirt that they normally are.
They're trash.
Sorry to say it, but
they're trash.
They are. It's bad. Their offense, though, is fucking nuts. Are they getting DeAndre Swift back this week or no?
Don't know.
Don't know yet?
He's questionable.
Should be decided there. That could change the tide, honestly. But I'm taking the Patriots here at home in Foxborough. I don't want to put my faith in the Patriots because I don't like them, but we're going to do it anyway. Bailey Zappi's going to lead the Patriots to a win over the Leones.
Next game here, we have the Titans going to FedEx Field to play the Commanders. The Titans are favored by 2.5. The over-under is 42.5. The Titans continue to be very unpredictable, up and down team from week to week. Mm-hmm. They did just beat my Colts in the first half, and the Colts had to play catch-up. That's why we lost that game. Those turnovers did not help us. But we're not talking about the Colts. We're talking about the fucking Titans. The Titans looked lost against the Giants and Bills before beating down the Raiders and Colts. I don't really think they beat both teams down. They were both close games, but the Commanders are terrible against the pass and wide receivers, but the Titans have limited options without their rookie Treylon Burks. Carson Wentz tends to play better at home against weaker defenses and will make sure Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel get to eat against bad coverage. I don't think the Commanders can win this game, though. I think they will score some points. I think both teams will score some points. It's going to go back and forth, but I like the Titans to win like 34-28. Final score there. Titans cover the 2.5. And if I'm going 34-28, I'm taking the over 42.5.
Commanders, I think, are starting to show their true colors now. I mean, they haven't been able to do anything on offense these last couple games. Granted, they played some decent defenses, and I think the Titans are starting to kind of figure out their offense now. That being said, your Colts did shut them down in the second half, but of course you have to play catch up, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I just can't pick Washington right now. I just don't think they're just really inconsistent right now. They don't have Chase Young still on defense, so that hurts them a lot. So I'm going to go for Titans. They're going to cover 2.5. I have them winning by a touchdown. I think I'm going to take the over, though. I think both teams are not good defensively to where they can score points, so I'll take the over for point-wise. Yeah.
This is kind of a weird game because it could go one way. Like, it could go either way.
Might be a good game. I think it's going to be a good game.
This could be one of those, like, early morning games that you do want to watch because it's going to go back and forth. I'm just trying to decide who I have more faith in. Whose defense I have more faith in. Because on one end, you got Derrick Henry and the Titans. They don't have much of a passing game, which is good for the Commanders because their pass defense is god-awful, as we saw against Dallas last week. On the other hand, you have Washington, who doesn't have much of a run offense, and the Titans can't stop that. So it's weird. It's like they're like evenly matched for each other. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard for me to choose. I'm going to take Washington, though. I'm going to take Washington in a FedEx Field this week. I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to go over on the over-under. I'm going to take Washington because all that Tennessee can do is Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is the only thing they can do. They had a bunch of turnovers last week with Indy, and that's the only reason they actually won that game. We both said that Indy started shutting them down in the second half. So I'm going to go with Washington on an at-home upset.
The Giants are not visiting the Packers because this game is being played in London. We got it right this time, guys. The Giants go play the Packers in London. The Giants have never lost in London. The Packers have never played in London. Wow. So something's got to give here. Packers can pound the Giants front to wear down their pass rush, and New York's secondary won't slow down Aaron Rodgers' suddenly red-hot top targets. I think it's going to be a home game for Green Bay, though, because Green Bay, nobody lives in Green Bay. Everybody travels for their games. But I think the Packers win, and they win big. Not like a super big blowout, but I think it's going to be like 31-20, something like that. Maybe it'll even be 31-14. But the Packers are favored by 8.5 in this game. The over-under is 41. So if I have the over in this game, I think that it's going to go over for sure. But yeah, 31-14, Packers in London.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. Like Daniel said earlier with the Patriots game, Green Bay is not as good as we think they are. I was looking at some power rankings today. They have them like high as 4. I was like, there is no way they're 4 in the NFL right now. There are teams much better than the Packers right now. Packers are still good. They are finding ways to win, but I don't think they're just that good. The Giants, on the other hand, they are surprising a lot of people. They're 3-1. Saquon is going off this year, and he looks like he should have been in his his first year.
His first 4 years in the league.
Yeah, I mean, he looks back to form. He looks perfectly healthy, and he's going to take the Giants' places if he stays healthy. Question is, the Giants don't have a passing offense. Daniel Jones cannot pass the ball. He ran for 2 touchdowns last week. I just don't think they'll be able to keep up. I think Green Bay will be able to find their rhythm, though. Green Bay will win. I don't think they're going to cover, though. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I'm going to say the over as well for the score.
Yep.
Yeah, but Green Bay, New York covering, though, and the over.
This could be a sneaker for the Giants. It really could. I keep saying it. I am ye of little faith in the Green Bay Packers right now. The thing is, though, is that they are still 3-1, and they're finding ways to win their games. They're not pretty. They're very ugly wins. And like I keep saying, too, is in week 1, that's when people figure out their offenses and they're just whole team. And it just, I can't take the Giants in this game. I got to go with the Packers. I don't know that they cover, though. I've been thinking really a lot about this while you guys went off about all that, and I just still don't know, man. Let's go Packers not covering, because 8.5 is a big spread in the NFL, and I'm gonna take the over. Yeah, I'll go over with it. Neither of the defenses are that great, so we'll go over. I'll agree with Steven here. Packers win, Giants cover, over.
The Bears going into Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Vikings are favored by 7 in this game. The over under is 44. I will tell you right now, I like the under in this game. I don't care. Like, the Bears just can't keep up with Minnesota. Minnesota's defense is better. Justin Jefferson's gonna have a lot of fantasy points. And Adam Thielen had a game last week in London. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw that. He was catching a lot of balls. Yep. But the Vikings are going to smash another division foe at home and go to 4-1. Score prediction, I'd say like 28-14, something like that.
So you said you're picking the under, right?
Yep, under.
I have to agree. I mean, I think 7 points for Minnesota being favored, I think that's generous right now. The Bears, I don't think will be able to keep up at all. The Vikings are the much superior team. They're probably still the best team in the NFC North, honestly. So I'm going to take them winning by at least 2 touchdowns as well. I just don't see Chicago matching at all. Give me Minnesota covering and give me the under as well. They'll win 21-7.
There's not a lot of like super, well, I don't want to say there's not a lot of tough matchups because it's been hard for me to decide most of these matchups actually. So this one is not a tough matchup to decide. I agree with you guys. They're going into Minnesota. It is a division game though, so I think Chicago could kind of keep up a little bit. 7 is a big spread too, but I think the Vikings will cover it. I think Justin Jefferson is going to feast this game, depending on how Kirk Cousins can fucking throw the ball around. And, you know, every week is dependent on him and being able to perform because he's so Kirk Cousins. It upsets me for the Vikings fans. I'm going to take the over in this, though. I think Minnesota is going to score a lot, and I think Chicago can score a couple touchdowns, too. I'm going to go with like 31-24. Yeah, I'm going to take the over in it for the sake of the spread. I'm going to take, I'll take the Vikings there to cover, and we'll take the over.
The Seattle Seahawks going to the Superdome to take on the Saints. The Saints are favored by 5.5 here. The over-under is 46. I will say the Seahawks are playing a lot better as the year goes on. Geno Smith is playing pretty good. He played really good against the Lions last week. Their defense is not that good. By the way,
Geno Smith plays for the Seahawks, not the Jets.
Yeah, just in case anybody wants to know, Daniel thought Geno Smith still played for the Jets, so there's that. Seattle's offense is still supported by dangerous wide receivers DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. The Saints offense is being smashed by injuries with rookie wide receiver Chris Olave as a standout. So Chris Olave is going to be a really good receiver in a few years. He's good right now, but he's going to be really, really good. Seattle is healthier, and they're going to continue to play well. But I like the Saints in this game. I don't think the Saints cover this game, though. This could be like a 24-20 game. The Saints are favored by 5.5. I think that's where it's going to go. If I'm doing 24-20, I'm taking the under in this game. The over-under is 46. But I like the Saints, but they don't cover.
I think the Seahawks have been surprising a lot of people this year. They're definitely better on offense than a lot of people thought they were going to be. With Geno Smith, he's been doing better statistically than Russell Wilson has been in Denver. So, I mean, that kind of worked out for Seattle at this moment. The Saints have not been doing what everyone expected them to do. We thought they were going to be one of the best teams defensively in the NFC. That's not happening. Jameis Winston's hurt. That's definitely hurting them. Kamara is also hurt right now. He's questionable this week. I'm honestly going to pick Seattle in this game. I think they can pull off the upset. I mean, they scored 48 points. Granted, it was against the Lions defense, but 48 points against any NFL defense, that's pretty good. So I have the Seahawks winning this game. As for the over-under, I have the over. I think this can be another shootout, honestly. I'll take the over and the Seahawks winning.
There you go.
Gonna need some W's. Gonna need some W's.
Jameis Winston's coming back, baby. They're going to win. I'm taking the Saints here. But if Jameis is leading the team, I'm taking the Saints here in the Superdome over the Seahawks. I think it'll be a close game, 3-point game. But I'll take the Saints here, and then I will also take the over.
Falcons going into Tampa Bay to take on the Buccaneers. Right now, the Buccaneers are 9-point favorites. The over-under is 48 in this game. The Falcons are playing pretty well this year. I know they've lost majority of their games, but they've all been pretty close. Kyle Pitts is a monster, and he should be used more. That's all I got to say about that. But Drake London's been their go-to guy. They're also down key weapons like Cordell Patterson, and they're on the road in Tampa. But Cordell Patterson wasn't going to do a lot against this Tampa defense. Tampa Bay is pissed, too. They lost to Kansas City last week.
Bad.
They got destroyed by Kansas City last week. I think 9 points is a lot, though, for this game, because I think Atlanta will keep it closer. It's a division game. Atlanta can stay in this game. I don't think they're going to win this game. So I would take Atlanta to cover the 9, but they lose. And I'm probably going to take the under in the points. It's at 48. I don't think 48 points are scored in this game. I still like the under in the points. I would take the under. This is my prediction. But Tampa Bay over Atlanta. Atlanta covers. Tampa Bay wins. Under in the points.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is pissed. Their defense has been rock solid this whole year until they met the Chiefs. The Falcons, like you said, are surprising people as well. They're doing a lot better. They are doing well offensively. Marcus Mariota. Kyle Pitts has been doing pretty good as well. I just don't know about that Atlanta defense, though. And with Tom Brady getting Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Julio Jones back, I see the Bucs winning pretty easily in this game. I think they'll win by 10, so I'll have the Tampa Bay covering. And I'm going to take the under, honestly.
I'm going to agree with you guys with Tampa Bay taking it to Atlanta this week. Like you said, Casey, division rivalry. I say it every single week. Division rivalries are always tough games. They just are. You want to beat your division rival more than anything. I think Atlanta will keep it close. Definitely covering that 9-point spread. I'm on the same page with you guys on the under here, but I think it's going to be a pretty low-scoring game, honestly. I'm going to take like Tampa Bay 21-10 over Atlanta. That definitely meets the under. Hold on real quick. I want to make a note because I said that the Falcons were going to cover, and then I picked a score that didn't cover. So 24-17 Bucks.
Yeah, see, there you go. That's how it happens.
I had the other part right, and then I got the spread wrong. So just, God, shambles.
San Francisco 49ers going into Carolina to take on the Panthers. Right now, the 49ers are favored by 6.5. The over-under is 38.5 in this game. Probably the lowest over-under of the week. The 49ers blew their first 2 road trips to Chicago and Denver. I think they're going to redeem themselves against Carolina, which poses a defensive challenge, but won't be able to move the ball against this 49ers defense. Baker Mayfield's going to struggle with them. There's no universe where Matt Rule will outcoach Kyle Shanahan and motivate this team. Matt Rule is losing his team, and I don't think he's going to be in Carolina much longer. I think he's going to be fired pretty soon. And if they keep losing, he definitely will be fired. 6.5 points for the 49ers. I think they can cover. They just blew out the Rams. I wouldn't bet on this game, but if I was going to, I would take the 49ers minus 6.5. And I'd probably take the over 38.5. That's not a lot of points. 38.5. We'll see what happens. This is a game I'm staying away from, though, but I like the 49ers to win. I would say 49ers cover. Over 38.5.
I always thought Matt Rule being hired in Carolina was such a weird hire, honestly. He proved himself for a couple years in college with Baylor, and that was it.
He even said, he's like, I'm not leaving those kids. And then they were like, we'll give you this much money. He's like, fuck them kids.
Yeah. He was like,
he left.
Like, bye. Peace out, Girl Scout. Baker Mayfield's going to have his hands full this week with that 49ers defense. I just don't think they'll be able to keep up, even with Christian McCaffrey being healthy again this week. They just won't be able to match 49ers defensive intensity. So definitely give me the 49ers winning by at least a touchdown. So I'm going to take San Francisco covering. I'm going to take the over because that is kind of a low spread. I think San Francisco can score at least 28 points. I think Carolina should score at least 14. So I'll take the over.
Last week when San Francisco played the Rams, all 3 of you guys picked the Rams, and I was the only one to pick the Niners. And I stand by it 1,000% that the Niners are a great and scary team again this year. They're finally using Deebo Samuel again the way that he's supposed to be utilized, and he had a play go off for like I think 60+ yards in the last game.
Yeah, made me lose a fantasy league game. I lost by 2 points, and that run made her win.
Yeah, so, I mean, we know the Niners' defense is solid, and their offense is figuring things out again. Poor Trey Lance, of course, but Jimmy G's back in charge there. They're more comfortable, and I think they're more confident, especially after beating the Rams last week. So I'm going to take the Niners here to cover the spread easily. I'm going to say probably like a 2-score game in this, actually. So I think I'm going to go like 35-17. Yeah, 35-17 Niners.
Cowboys at the Rams. Rams are favored by 4.5. The over-under in this game is 43. It will be Cooper Rush starting, as you guys told me earlier, correct?
Yes.
The Cowboys offense has cleaned up things around the QB and need more pop in the passing game with Michael Gallup back. I don't think they're going to run all that well against the Rams, but it figures to be an aerial battle where protecting the ball will be a premium. I think whoever wins the turnover battle in this game is going to win the game. Your boy Diggs, if he comes up with some good catches, I mean, all he has to do is cover Cooper Kupp because that's all Matthew Stafford fucking throws to. Like I said earlier, I have Allen Robinson on my fantasy team, and he doesn't fucking throw to him. So there's that too. I think the Rams take this Cooper Kupp versus CeeDee Lamb duel. The Cowboys try to come back later, but the Rams pull it off. My final score, I think it's a great game, though, and I think the Cowboys can pull it off, just so you guys know. But I think the Rams at home will win like 20-16, something like that, because you guys kick a lot of field goals. So
this game has been tough for me to pick, just as a Cowboy fan, but also as a realistic fan. The Rams are a good team, don't get me wrong. The Cowboys are also a good team. Cowboys defense is not as good as San Francisco's defense, but they are good, and they can rush the pass. If they can get to the quarterback, get Matthew Stafford, they may be able to pull this off. And if Cooper Rush just stays consistent and uses Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb like he did last week. I mean, Michael Gallup, he looked like he didn't miss a beat, honestly. He had a few catches. He had a touchdown. He's going to get more into rhythm as the season goes on. The only thing that questions me about the Cowboys is their run offense. They want to run the ball more, but they just struggled against Washington last week. I think Zeke only had like 50 yards, and then Tony Pollard didn't even have 10 yards, I don't think. Nor did they use Pollard at all, really. The Rams defense is scary. They have a good front four. Actually, a good front seven, honestly. So they will probably be able to get to Cooper Rush. So I hate this, but I'm going to go for the Rams. They're not going to cover, though. I think the Cowboys are going to cover.
You're a shit fan. I'm just
Shut up. Shut up.
I'm just kidding.
Rams winning, Cowboys covering. It could be a low-scoring game, so I'm going to pick the under.
I respect it, Steven, but I'm going to respectfully disagree with you.
I was trying to convince myself to pick the Cowboys, but I couldn't.
Because I am going to have faith in the Dallas Cowboys. And I'm scared to do it, honestly. This is one of those games where it's tough to pick, and logically, I'm picking more with my heart here. And I think that a big reason of it is because of the pass rush for Dallas. I think Dallas is going to get to Matt Stafford a lot, and I think they're going to game plan to cover Cooper Kupp because they know that that's the only receiver they really have to worry about as of right now. So if they're smart about it, they will double team and work more toward Cooper Kupp and kind of make them throw to the other receivers that they have and make them work with it. I don't see either of these teams doing a lot with the run offenses. Casey, you said it too with the turnover ratio. Whoever's going to have more turnovers might be the one to win the game. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I have faith. I have faith in the Cowboys. And I love that Michael Gallup came back and Cooper Rush. Like the fact that Cooper Rush is being debated to take over for Dak Prescott, even when Dak Prescott is healthy now, is amazing. Like he's a starting caliber quarterback now for the NFL. He's 4-0 as a starter, and he's proved himself. He knows how to run an offense, and he knows how to settle in and make plays happen. The Rams have not impressed me at all this year in any aspect of their team. Matthew Stafford sucks. Cooper Kupp is Cooper Kupp. I mean, he's going to do his thing, especially when he's getting targeted 19 times a game and going for 120 yards and still not scoring a touchdown. Like, it just doesn't make sense. So I'm going to take Dallas. As far as the spread goes, I think it's going to be field goal to win game. Let's go 21-20. Dallas.
1 point game. The Philadelphia Eagles are going into Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Eagles roll into the desert, and I think their passing game gets going because they won't have wind, rain, and cold at home like they do at home. I think Jalen Hurts is going to roll with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. The Eagles are going to get a lot of pass yards in this game, and I think Jalen Hurts might even run some touchdowns in himself. The Eagles are favored by 5.5. The over-under is 49. I like the over in this game. I like the Eagles to cover the 5.5. I don't care if they're in Arizona. I think they're a much better team than Arizona. Arizona hasn't shown me really anything yet this year to show me that they're a really good football team. Give me the Eagles 31-20. Yeah, that's my final score. 31-20.
I have to agree. The Battle of the Birds, the Eagles are just the Eagles are just dominating pretty much in every aspect right now, as they should right now. I mean, they have probably one of the easiest beginnings of schedules.
They have the easiest strength of schedule this season.
They should be winning these games, so no question there. They should definitely convincingly beat the Cardinals, I think, in Arizona. Should be a fun game to watch, though. I think Kyler Murray can still put up points and make this a game, but I still see the Eagles winning. I have them covering. The Eagles should win at least by a touchdown. Point-wise, I think I'm going to take the over. I think both teams can score points. It just depends on how much Philly's defense can keep Kyler Murray from running all over them.
I'm kind of on the same page with you guys here. It's because Arizona's one of those teams, too, where it's just like you never know what Arizona team you're going to see, like every week, you know? Like sometimes they show up, and then sometimes it's just a complete shit show. But Philly has just been annoyingly good this year, and it's it's annoying. But yeah, I'm taking Philly here. Kind of big. I think it's going to be pretty similar to the Jacksonville game. I think I'd put Arizona on the same level as Jacksonville at this point, honestly. Jacksonville might even be a little bit better. I don't see Arizona's defense doing a lot against Philly's passing offense, maybe shutting down the run offense a little bit, but there's not much life in Arizona right now except for like Kyler Murray, I feel like. So I'm going to take Philly to win this away game. I'll take them to cover the 5.5. I'm going to go for like a 10-point game. 49 point. Yeah, I think it'll be pretty high scoring. I'm going to do 38-24 Eagles.
Raiders going into Arrowhead Stadium to take on the Chiefs. The Chiefs are favored by 7, and the over-under is 51. I don't know how the fuck the Colts beat the Chiefs, but we did. No idea how. But the Chiefs offense is a complete running and passing groove with Patrick Mahomes right now after dismantling Tampa Bay. The Raiders offense has become run reliant as Derek Carr is still trying to settle into a complicated passing game. The Chiefs have tended to crush in this matchup as of late. I think they've been destroying Las Vegas lately. Kansas City put Las Vegas into a negative game script here, and I don't even think that this game should not be a Monday night game. I think they made it a Monday night game because everybody thought the Raiders were going to be good. I told you all the Raiders are going to suck, and they have. So I like the Chiefs. They're going to put up a lot of points in this game. I think it's going to be like 41-24 Chiefs. And that gives you Chiefs covering, and the over hits 51.
Kansas City, their offense just took off against what we thought was one of the best defenses in the league right now was Tampa Bay. We thought Travis Kelce went nuts. Patrick Mahomes went nuts also. The Raiders did get their first win. Granted, it was against the Broncos. The Chiefs are just a different monster, and I just don't see the Raiders being able to keep up with them. So give me Kansas City covering this game pretty easily. I have them winning by 10. I'll definitely take the over because Kansas City can put up points, and the Raiders will be able to put some points up, but no way will they be able to match Kansas City.
Can I go for 3 blowouts this week?
Yeah, I think I've got like 4, so go for it.
Yeah. After what the Chiefs did to the fucking, I almost said the Texans, the fucking Buccaneers last week. Yeah, if Kansas City shows up and plays the way they did last week, like offensively, they're gonna dismantle the Raiders. They're gonna fucking destroy them. I like the score that you picked, Casey. That's why I asked you again, because you said like what, 41-28?
41-24.
41-24. Yeah. I like that score a lot, actually. I'm going to actually like completely agree with you on it with the prediction, because I could see Vegas scoring a couple of touchdowns in there, a couple field goals.
I'll say this, Kansas City's defense is not that great. That's why. Their offense is what keeps them rolling. But go ahead.
Yep. Yeah, the Chiefs are that team that they're like the Warriors, the NBA Warriors of the NFL. They prove that offense can win a championship. I'll take the Chiefs here. Same score as you, Casey, obviously covering the over and covering the spread.